Morgan here for Onefinity, and today we're going to make this little Oreo box on the CNC. This is a super simple project I knocked out pretty quick. I actually did it just as an afterthought a couple hours before leaving for Workbench Con. And I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but people there really seem to like it, so let's do it. Let's get into it. So this project uses very little material and doesn't take long to make. I found an SVG of the cookie's design, so I just had to scale it for whatever material I had laying around. I wanted to use walnut for the top and bottom parts of the cookie because those are dark brown, almost black. And for the delicious creamy center, I use maple since there's no wood that's actually just stark white. And I'm a fan of double stuff Oreos, so the maple needs to be kind of thick. If you like just the classic Oreo, your material can be a little thinner. And if you like cherry cola Oreos, you're a psychopath and we can't be friends. Sorry. So I toolpath this in Carveco. I've been trying to toolpath things more in Carveco just because that's what everybody gets with their machine, so you should be seeing a lot more of that on this channel. Anyway, I opened up Carveco and created a new project. Set it to the size of my walnut piece, then imported the SVG. I scaled it down to 9 inches to leave a little bit of buffer around the outside. And remember, there's 2 cookies that make up the outside of an Oreo, so we gotta double the set. We'll just copy and paste it, drag it over, and center the design in the model. Alright, let's start with an area clearance toolpath. If you're using VCarve, that would be called a pocket toolpath. Same thing, different name. We're going to set our overall depth to 1/8 of an inch, or 0.125, and we'll use an 1/8 inch spiral compression bit to clear out most of the waste. We'll do that in 2 passes, taking off 1/16 of an inch per pass, with a feed rate of 150 inches per minute and a spindle speed of 20,000 RPMs. We set that by going in and editing the step down parameter for the bit to 1/16 or 0.0625. Well, let's go ahead and preview that. Cool, that removed the bulk of the material. Now let's go in and get those finer details with another clearance toolpath, cutting with a 1/16 inch diameter spiral bit. These are really small and can easily break if you're cutting too aggressively. So we'll run this one at 80 inches per minute, 20,000 RPMs, and we'll do it in 4 passes, removing just 0.032 inches per pass. And I know that seems conservative, but I don't like breaking bits. And it's a pretty small project, so it's not going to take super long. So let's go ahead and preview that. Cool. The 1/16 inch bit took care of those tight spots, and now all we got to do is cut it out. I'm using a 1/4 inch spiral end mill for this, 150 inches per minute, 20,000 RPMs, and we'll do it in 3 passes, 1/4 inch per pass. Now let's toolpath that tasty creamy double stuff center. This one is super easy, it's just 2 profile toolpaths. We'll do the inner cutout first, cutting inside the vector using a 1/4 inch spiral bit, cutting at 200 inches per minute at 20,000 RPMs, and 5 passes at 1/4 inch depth each pass. Last, we'll cut the whole thing out. And that's just going to be another profile toolpath, offset to the outside by 3/4 of an inch, cutting outside the vector with all the same settings. Then I save both of those toolpaths to 1 G-code file because they both use the same bit. Piece of cake. And now that we have our 3 parts toolpath, let's head over to the machine. After securing my material to the backer so I can cut all the way through the parts without cutting into my air weights, I loaded the file, set my work origin to the bottom left corner, probed for Z, then ran the first toolpath, starting with area clearance with an 1/8 inch spiral bit. Once that's done, I switched over to a 1/16 inch spiral bit, probed for Z again, and ran that. Finally, I switched to a 1/4 inch spiral bit for the outer profile to cut the whole thing out. And as we say in the biz, bada bing, bada booyah. Now we're going to cut out that delectable maple center. I secured the material to the backer, reset my work origin, probed for Z again, and ran it. I'll start with the inside profile tool, cutting out the center, then I'll cut out the whole thing, giving me a ring. Then I just took it over to the router table and gave the top and bottom edges a 1/4 inch round over, then glued one side to the bottom cookie. Then I realized I didn't really have a way to attach the top piece to the rest of it, so I just embedded some magnets on both parts the old-fashioned way, with a drill and some CA glue. And there you have it, giant Oreo cookie stash box. The cut files for this project will be on the Onefinity user forum for free, with pre-programmed toolpaths in both VCarve 12 and Carveco Maker, so you can download those and make one of your very own. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like and comment on the video, all that sophisticated internet stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Bon appetit. Y'all be good.